The only way that they can get these GMs to finally cough up some money is all the running backs go on strike. Do what the Writers Guild Association and the Screen Actors Screen Actors Association they doing. If you're not willing to do that, then you're screwed. Pretty much. Like, oh, Derrick Henry, he's going to go on Twitter and say, oh, running backs are getting screwed after you got paid. Like, ain't nobody trying to hear your thoughts, bro. Ain't nobody trying to hear all that. Bro, you got paid. Like, what? How about you and Saquon? How about you sit out? Hold out. Sit out with Saquon. Go on strike. Then you'll make a point. Play the song with your heart. Play the song with your heart. Hey, one time. What is good, YouTube? This your boy Aaron.
Brian.
And this is the Courtside View Podcast. And we are back today. You smell that? Football is upon us. Football season is almost here, ladies and gentlemen.
I can shed tears, man.
Yes, we can definitely shed tears. And I have to say, training camp has begun. The AFC East has started. The Jets, I believe the Dolphins, they're going to start training camp pretty soon. The Patriots as well, and so forth. It's exciting times. It really is. And then you also have Hard Knocks officially, finally. You know, there's been rumors about the Jets being the team to represent for Hard Knocks, but now it's official. So we'll get the Jets. We'll get sound bites of the Jets. I'm excited for that as well. It's just a lot of great stuff in the NFL. And then there's also other stuff when it comes to running backs. We already addressed that, the last month. We were early to that sort of party. To the party. Yeah, so try to warn you guys, but now here we are. And so, anywho, NFL training camp. Let me ask you this: what players are you really sort of keeping your eye on during the training camp?
It's mostly rookies because this is really their first go round against NFL caliber competition that's been in the league, and there's players fight for roster spots and stuff. So I'm really looking forward to see how the QBs, especially Stroud and Bryce Young, do. Christian Gonzalez. It's mostly just skill. Well, cornerback's not a skill position.
Is it? The skill position, is that mostly offense?
Yeah, I think that's mostly offense.
Okay.
So it's mostly cornerbacks, QBs, wide receivers out. Yeah, especially Jordan Addison. He done.
Oh my gosh.
Henry Ruggs did without the alcohol and the murder, but. Yeah, mostly I am interested to see how JSN does as well. So, mostly rookies, wide receivers, corners, QBs. No one really in specifically. Yeah. Well, at least outside of the Cowboys, obviously.
Right. Gotta keep up to date with your team as well. Yeah, I mostly agree with you.
I know you want to see Jordan.
I do. So here's the thing. I think for me, obviously the rookies, because they're new, they haven't pretty much made a snap, played a snap yet, and they're unproven. Also, guys that are they need to prove themselves as well. They've been in the league, but they're still question marks about, okay, are they good? Or can they still play at that level? The Russell Wilsons, the Deshaun Watsons, the again not proven, Jordan Love, and other guys as well that are still making a name for themselves. I want to look into them as well. And then also guys that have sort of played okay-ish, but have the potential to be at the next level in terms of elite status, like a Trevor Lawrence per se. Like, will Trevor Lawrence enter that tier 2, that Justin Herbert, that Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen sort of class? Will he get to that level this year, or will he remain at that same level he was last year? So stuff like that. Justin Fields as well. Yeah. Can Justin Fields improve as a pocket passer? Yes, we understand he's a great runner, but to take your game to the next level, a la Jalen Hurts, you need to be able to throw from the pocket. So let's see what what Justin Fields does, especially now that he has more weapons and they improved the team. They got guys free agency, running backs, DJ Moore they traded for. So that's what I'm really looking for in training camp. Also, as a fantasy owner myself, training camp is very important because I get to see, okay, how is the team going to utilize said skill position player? Mainly the rookies per se, because the rookies, we don't really know as much. And a lot of times when I was being in fantasy, I would draft these rookies with expectations that they will exceed expectations. So a guy like Chris Olave, a guy like Drake London, a guy like Garrett Wilson, those type of guys. Let's see what Jordan Addison does. Let's see what Zay Flowers. I've been hearing really good things about Zay Flowers. I've been hearing that he has been the best wide receiver in camp. I don't know if that's true or not, but if that is true, that's a great sign. I've been hearing, is his name Todd Monken? Is that the OC for the Ravens? So. Talking about how, I don't know if it was him specifically, but in terms of Lamar Jackson going back to his Louisville days, right, where he was a runner, but he also was slinging that thing as well. Mm-hmm. And case in point against Clemson, where he was having him and Deshaun Watson going back and forth. But yeah, getting back to those sort of days where he was slinging that thing, but also running it as well, being the dual threat that we know he can be. So that's really my expectations. That's really what I want to see from training camp, and I just can't wait. Some 7-on-7 drills, those joint practices.
Are y'all ready for the overreactions to the wide receiver one-on-ones?
Oh man, that's gonna be great. The corner and wide receiver matchups. That's gonna be great. We already know Trey Diggs. There's gonna be that one video.
Not Trey this Diggs. Not this year.
Okay. We will see. We'll see if CD and Trey Diggs, what's gonna happen there. Will CD get the best of Trey Diggs?
We need to see what CD versus Stephon Gilmore looking like.
Okay. Well, we'll see about that one. But yeah, man. I think training camp. I can't wait. So let's get to. So last week you brought up CBS Sports QB tier list.
Yes.
And you had a major problem about the QB tier list. You said it was the worst list you've ever seen. And I agree with you. I've never seen a worse list than that.
Instagram agreed as well.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody that was
and
watching.
YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube as well. Shout out to all you guys. But I want to go more in depth and sort of that deeper into the conversation when it comes to QB tier list. And I decided, how about we make our own QB tier list. Make it interesting. You feel me? We're critiquing CBS Sports QB tier list. Why not we make our own QB tier list to counter whatever that individual was spewing, was putting out that absurd list. So I'll let you start it off. You give your QB tier list.
And throw me into the fire early.
You're the one that brought it up.
Okay,
Why not?
Fine. All right. So my QB tier list is separated into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 categories. Now that may seem like a lot, but it's really not once I break it down. Mm-hmm. So the first category is Mahomes tier. It's just Pat Mahomes. These QBs is not Pat Mahomes. Okay. They're not GOAT Mahomes. The second tier is tier 1. That is occupied by Joe Burrow. Just Joe Burrow.
Okay.
There.
Wow.
Because we've seen the results, we've seen the back-to-back AFC Championship appearances, and he's only in his, 4th year?
Something like that, yeah.
So then we got tier 2. Now, tier Mahomes through tier 2 is essentially the top 5 QBs in the NFL, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So tier 2, to round off the top 5, it would be Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson. Pretty standardized, top 5. Some people throw some other guy in there, but I'm not going to say it. Tier 3. Now, tier 3, in my opinion, is about the 5 to 15 range. So, or fringe top 10 range. Like, all of these dudes, you can argue, could fit in the top 10, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. So, we got Dak. Of course, I put Dak first. But this isn't in any order. Dak, Hurts, Goff, Cousins, Geno, Kyler, Aaron Rodgers, Matt Stafford, and Trevor Lawrence. Mm-hmm. That's the tier 3. Now, tier 4, this is where the list gets a little kind of controversial, kind of not. This is like 15 to 20 something, you know. So we got Russell Wilson, Derek Carr, Tua, Daniel Jones, Justin Fields, Jimmy Garoppolo, Brock Purdy, Tannehill, and Deshaun Watson. Now, this is where the list gets a little funny. This tier is called some of the QBs of all time. They literally just QBs. I don't even know what they're even. They like backup dudes or something like that. So we got Baker Mayfield, Taylor Heineke, Sam Darnold, Mac Jones, Andy Dalton, Matt Ryan, Davis Mills, and Carson Wentz. The QBs of all time. And obviously we got pretty much the rookies or the second-year players that ain't really played much, like Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson, Matt Corral, Sam Howell, Will Levis, Jordan Love, Kenny Pickett. Don't even know who this dude on the Buccaneers is. Desmond Ridder and Trey Lance. Those are the dudes. I can't rank them because they haven't really done much on the field to really. And then the final tier is Zach Wilson. He's at the bottom of the bottom. That is the final tier, Zach Wilson. You'll see the picture wherever. I'll send it over.
We'll show that one. This is part 1 of the QB tier list.
Any objections to the list?
So number 1, where you place Jalen Hurts, I disagree. He should be up a tier. The dude
off of 1 year,
a finalist for the MVP. He should be up a tier. Come on now, be for real. And then his play in the Super Bowl, what he did in the Super Bowl. Come on now, at the biggest stage,
it was good.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was damn near flawless. Except that time, I think he fumbled the ball. Besides that, it was flawless. And you just gonna say he in the same tier as Trevor Lawrence? Come on now, like be for real, bro. He was.
You see how Hurts was? He's the second name I named.
You see how valuable he was for his team when he didn't play those couple of games. They lost to the Saints at home. The Saints. They lost to your Cowboys on the road. Now, you guys did put up a good fight, but imagine if Jalen Hurts was starting. They probably would have won that game. Yes. Oh, well, that's a different conversation another day. You know, you're a Cowboys fan, so you're going to object to that. But, yeah, I disagree with the Jalen Hurts thing. If you want to put Rodgers at tier 3, go ahead. I'm not going to fight you on that one. And, yeah, that was really the only thing that really... And then I think Jimmy Garoppolo was placed a little bit too high.
He's not a tier 4 QB?
No, I think he should be down a tier.
Dang, he should be in the... some of the QBs of all time tier.
I think he should be down a tier.
He's not even starter level.
He's like
he probably
fringe.
should. Yeah, he maybe should be moved down.
Yeah, he's on a like Teddy Bridgewater trajectory. That's what he's looking like to me right now. Injury prone, comes in, you know, he's all right for a few games, and then he's all right. Okay, my tier list. So I have tier 1. It's just Mahomes. Mahomes by himself. I can't put anybody else with Mahomes. I'm sorry. He's the Michael Jordan of football. He's just so much better than any other QB that it would be an insult to his name to put any QB with him. So I have Mahomes by himself, tier 1. Tier 2, I have Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts. And this is controversial. Jalen Hurts and Aaron Rodgers are in tier 2. Yes, I put Aaron Rodgers in tier 2. I still think Aaron Rodgers, given the requisite parts, is just as good as those QBs I named. Just because...
He keeps tricking y'all, man.
The dude had one bad season off coming back from 2 back-to-back MVP seasons. Come on now. So
did you see the stuff he was doing last year?
Of course, I'm a Packers fan. I was watching it, but the same
he wasn't watching close enough.
I was. There was some. Yeah, he was making some bad decisions, but I think overall, give him the requisite parts. I think he will still be able to do some of the very things that some of those QBs will be doing this year. So I still believe in Aaron Rodgers. And, if you guys want to say, oh, I'm wrong, then so be it. You want to go back to this clip and sort of tell me that I'm wrong, fine. But I still think Aaron Rodgers is a tier 2. Tier 3, I have Lawrence. I have Kyler Murray. I have Kirk Cousins, Geno, Dak, and Goff. Tier 4, I have Russell Wilson, Deshaun, Tua, Justin Fields, Derek Carr, Daniel Jones, and Matthew Stafford. Tier 5.
Stafford in Tier 4.
Yeah, I have
interesting.
Him I don't think he's. Listen, he had a down year, but I don't think he's like as bad as like freaking.
I had him in Tier 3.
You have him in Tier 3?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, you being too nice. He was bad. He was bad, but I'm still put some respect on his name. But damn, you have him Tier 3. Tier 5, Kenny Pickett. I have Brock Purdy, Mac Jones, Ryan Tannehill. Tier 6, I have Baker. I have Garoppolo. I have Ritter, and I have Jordan Love. And then I have a separate list. Haven't played a snap. Obviously, the rookies.
Right.
So, whatever QB, rookie QB you can name up, he's on the list. And everybody else, Andy Dalton, Sam Darnold, Taylor Heineke, Sam Howell, Trey Lance, Carson Wentz, Zach Wilson, and then Kyle Trask, the starting I can't even remember the starting QB for the Texans.
Davis Mills. Well, now it's C.J. Stroud.
Now C.J. Stroud. Matt Ryan, and then this Panthers QB, I don't even know the guy's name.
Matt Corral.
Matt Corral, yeah. So that is my list, my tier list. Any objections? I already know you don't like Jalen Hurts and Aaron Rodgers as tier 2.
I don't at all.
But any other objections?
No, not really. You had Dak 3, right?
Yeah,
that's
Dak
fair.
3.
That's fair. Yep. I'll accept it.
I have him with Kyler, Trevor Lawrence, Kurt, Geno, and Goff.
Yep, that's his range.
So
hopefully after this year he could prove himself and move up. But
we all know that's a fantasy dream.
Whatever.
Anywho, so yeah, that's the QB tier list. If you agree, great. If you don't, okay. So what? And
drop yours in the comments. I know it's a lot of typing, but we need the algorithm.
Yeah, drop yours in the comments if you don't agree with our list.
I should have made mine as outrageous as possible to get the algorithm going, but
nah, we're
reputable figures.
Yeah, we have integrity, So anywho,
I should have put Dak in tier. I should have made a Dak tier.
Yeah, you're crazy.
I should have made a Dak tier.
You're really crazy. But anywho, let's get to the next topic of things. So, Commanders officially have appointed Josh Harris as the new owner of the franchise. It's about damn time. They were throwing a parade, man. They were throwing a party. It was a celebration like they won a Super Bowl. That's how bad it's been for the Washington franchise for the past 20-plus years. There was a video on Twitter immediately after Daniel Snyder bought the team where somebody was interviewing him, and, people were just examining him. They were like, you could tell he shouldn't have never been trusted by the look of his face. It was so funny, bro. They were like, man, what are you going to do? What are you going to do now that you got the team? How you going to, put them in the right direction? He was like, well, first of all, we're going to, he said something to the realm of, we're just going to continue to do something. I don't know. But the answer was BS. It was nothing that felt like, oh my God, I feel so optimistic about this team. Like, he was just like, oh, we're just gonna get down to business.
Man was making a business investment.
Pretty much. Hey man, $800 million to $6 million. That's a hell of an investment. Yeah. That is a hell, man. That is just phenomenal. And they released his dirty laundry. Once he went out the door, they were like, yeah, he did this, that, and the third. Yes, good. It's about damn time that this organization finally got out from the Daniel Snyder just drama.
Yeah.
Because they were held hostage. That organization was held hostage. That franchise, the fan base was held hostage. I still can't believe this happened. I'm shocked. I thought it would never happen. I thought it was going to be 30, 40, 50 years before we would get to this moment. So the fact that we're here, congratulations to the fan base. You guys deserve it. It's been a long time coming. You guys have been going through so many different regimes, so many coaching regimes, so many draft picks that haven't panned out. It's about damn time, because his record as the owner is not good at all. Very bad. 2 playoff wins. The last playoff win was in 2006. Sean Taylor was still alive. Think about that for a second. Sean Taylor was still alive. Inexcusable. Your reaction to the Commanders finally naming Josh Harris as the owner?
As an NFC East fan, I don't like it.
You don't like it?
No, I wanted the dysfunction to last forever. But as a football fan, he had to go. He had to go. Yeah. The stuff that he was doing, the way he was running the org, it just wasn't. It was bad for business.
Pretty much.
And those freaking games, those Commanders games was looking like home games for the other teams, especially when NFC East opponents rolled through. The players is like, I thought this was a away game. So yeah, it's going to be nice to see the local fans be excited about football again. Because before, they was losing hope. They lost hope last season.
Shit, man, they were.
But once the rumors of the sale possibly happened, and then they started to get back on board, and they was just waiting for the count. Now they can pop champagne and actually show up to the games next season.
They could have they could finally feel proud about the team and not have to constantly feel pessimistic about, oh man, things are gonna go bad. I already know it, because that's been sort of the motto ever since I started to become a fan. Just hearing family members that are fans of the team, and how don't get your hopes up too high because they're gonna screw it up. So hopefully they can, I guess, change the atmosphere, change the aura of the franchise, because it's been a laughing stock for however many years I've been alive. I can't remember any other time where this franchise has been respectable. Even when the RG3 years, even then people were still in disbelief that this happened. So I'm glad for them. Hopefully, I also heard that
they may get new branding.
Yeah, new branding again. Well, it makes sense.
What if he just says, "Man, forget this. We're going back to the old name." You think that would go over well?
They're not going. People not going to rock with. I mean, there's going to be
the fans don't care. The fans don't.
Well,
care.
But there's going to be media and other people that are not fans of the team. They're going to object to it. They're not going to like it because of the name and the racial slur behind it. So I doubt it. I think it would be bad for business if they go back to that name. I will say,
just go back to the Washington football team.
I will say that maybe they might change the colors. You never know.
No, they're not changing.
Or maybe I don't know if they're gonna change the name.
I like the colors. Honestly, I actually like the colors.
The colors aren't bad.
The burgundy is different.
They do need different jerseys, different sort of alternate jerseys. The
all black joint is hard.
Yeah, I mean it's cool, but throwback jerseys of that nature.
Yeah.
I remember, you go to Madden. I remember I watched a Chris Smoove video where he was doing Ultimate Team, and he had one of those Washington jerseys, throwback jerseys.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, them joints was hard. I was like, man, they got some nice throwback jerseys. So yeah, get some throwback jerseys. Maybe obviously not have the whole Redskin sort of insignia logo on it, but bring back something, because they have
other
some
teams bringing back old uniforms
right, and then also innovating new uniforms. I think the Colts, they came out with something, and
love the helmet.
Seattle, they came back with the 90s look. Buccaneers, they're going back to those
the Popeyes uniforms.
Yeah, the Popeyes uniforms and stuff. So yeah, man, it's cool to bring back some old jerseys. Just make sure to cover up the logo or whatever. Don't put the logo on it, and we ride. We'll just do that. But yeah, I think that'll do it for the Commanders segment, everything like that.
Do you think the sale will have any impact on the amount of wins they get, or is it still the same business as always, not going to be that good?
I think they're not good. It all, listen, at the end of the day, it all depends on Sam Howell. I can't believe I'm saying this. It all depends on Sam Howell. Right. Like, I'm hearing all this hype about him. I don't know how real it is, but I'm hearing all this hype about, Sam Howell, his arm strength, his mobility. If Sam Howell stinks, they're gonna be trash. But if he balls out, if he cooks, they're gonna be good. So
there was this quote by I don't remember who said it, but he said, I think it was a scout for the Commanders or something like that. He said if Sam Howell gets on the field, he's not getting off. In regards to how good he's looked so far, so
it was oh my God, it was Matt Berry he got information. It may have been a scout. Yeah, and that's what he said pretty much. He's quoting a scout or something like that. I don't know how true that statement is, but we'll have to see. All the answers will be revealed during training camp and preseason and regular season. So until then, seems like a myth to me. Seems like a bunch of rumors to me, which is generally what happens around this time, which is the funniest time during the NFL offseason.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, we'll just have to see on that one. So, like, transitioning, right? Running backs, we talked about this, like, over a month ago. Running backs are in a midlife crisis. And we brought up, like, Dalvin Cook got released pretty much, and he's looking for a new team. Saquon and his contract struggles trying to get a new contract with the Giants. The Giants aren't budging. Saquon's not budging. And then Josh Jacobs as well. He's trying to get a new contract. The Raiders ain't trying to give him the contract that he wants. And they're sort of in this impasse. Well.
Austin Eckler, too.
Well, fast forward a month later, present day, still happening again. And Kareem Hunt hasn't signed with a team. Leonard Fournette hasn't signed with a team.
Zeke hasn't
signed with a team. It's a lot of drama.
I think the only running back that signed his franchise tag was Tony Pollard, and he did that months ago.
Which, honestly, probably the best season he could do. $10 million.
$10
million after injuring, season-ending injury like that.
I forgot what it was, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
Pretty bad. Not good for a running back. So he get your money. Get your money. It was 1 year, but get your money. But yeah, man. Running backs, they're in a midlife crisis. It's just the market is just not good for them. It's not going up. It's going down. So just your thoughts on just the current state of running backs. And do you think it will get better, or is it going to get worse from here?
The only way I see stuff getting better right now is if the CBA, a new CBA will implement protections for running backs, because the evidence is out there, the numbers are there. Like, I know it's a worker versus employer type scenario, and majority of the fans, they would be for the players or the workers in this case. But, like, these teams, but the player actively impacts the team's success. So it's like, it doesn't really make logical sense to give running backs top dollar when they aren't pivotal to winning a championship. They're just not. Like, they're literally just not. Like, okay, let's look at this. Saquon Barkley. He was hands down the Giants' best player last season, hands down. Where was he against the Eagles?
He was non-existent. They stacked the box. He couldn't run the ball.
Exactly.
Daniel Jones was struggling as well.
And and even in the Vikings game, who was the best player? Wasn't even Saquon.
It was Daniel Jones.
Look at Josh Jacobs. He was the leading rusher in the league, right? How many games did the Raiders win?
Not a lot. They didn't make the playoffs, so.
Derrick Henry, arguably the best running back in the league. How many games did Titans win?
They won maybe 7 or 8. Didn't make the playoffs.
Now look at the Titans when A.J. Brown was still on the team and Derrick Henry was out, they were still winning games. They was getting not the same, but pretty good run production.
Yeah.
Versus look at the Titans without A.J. Brown, but with Derrick Henry.
Make a great point. We'll see what D-Hop does with them. Might make them better. I don't know.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it will. But and then let me see. Browns, Nick Chubb. I mean, he's got his money already, so it don't really matter with him. But like it's
CMC when he was on Carolina, he was hooping, but
kept getting injured.
Where the wins at?
Wasn't really contributing to wins. Gets on the 49ers and they was hooping.
Yeah, they was hooping because they got a loaded roster.
Exactly.
And see, that's the thing. Like you can't put all the onus on the running back. Like if you're gonna pay him a lot of money, like that's just a recipe for disaster. Unless your team is just stacked to the bone. Like you can't just keep thinking, oh, this is like 2001, like Ravens, whatever, where you have Jamal Lewis running for 2,000 yards, and you can just let Jamal Lewis carry the offense and then have the defense sort of do their thing. Like, no, you can't do that no more. It's an offensive heavy league, and you need to throw it. You need to air it out. You need to have top-notch receivers. And nowadays, the running back position, it's definitely
it's complementary now.
Yeah, pretty much. But I mean, running backs are important.
They are,
but they're replaceable. That's the thing. They're easily replaceable, and because they're easily replaceable, their market is going to be bad. Wide receivers,
simple supply and demand.
Yeah, wide receivers on the other hand, they're not as easily replaceable. Like you have now, then again, like you can find a wide receiver in the draft. I will say that, but wide receivers impact the game on another level that you need. You're gonna need like a top-notch wide receiver if you want to like Jamar Chase.
Let's put it into this perspective.
Yeah.
The gap between a Justin Jefferson and Tyreek Hill is bigger. I mean, my bad. The gap between a Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill type receiver versus like a Amon-Ra or a T. Higgins type receiver is a bigger gap than a Derrick Henry and Nick Chubb versus someone like Breece Hall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, like, yeah, the running back position, it just seems like it's getting...
Is it getting too saturated?
It seems like a lot of the running backs, I don't know, man, the days of, like, the LTs and the APs and the Emmets and all them, the Berries, like, just dominating, willing their team to victory, I think those days might be over. I don't think you can really do that anymore. You have to air it out. You have to have a good passing offense. It's just not doable. It's not consistently doable, in my opinion.
And for the simple fact that if I'm a GM and I want to do roster construction and I'm like, man, we were pretty weak in the run game last year, my first move would not be to go get an elite running back. It would be fix the line.
Pretty much, yeah.
Because if you fix the line, anybody can run through a great line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great running backs will get through mediocre lines, but, like, why would I build for the short term instead of getting a line that I could sign all of these guys I have most of the tandem for, like, 10-plus years?
You're right. Unless you're Trent Richardson, unless you're that bad. Then I don't know if a elite line will help him. but yeah, you're right. Like you look at the Eagles with Ken Gainwell and those other running backs.
Miles Sanders made the Pro Bowl.
Miles Sanders and
Miles Sanders had 1,000 yards.
Yeah, they had all these different running backs they would just go to. And
Boston Scott.
Oh my God, the Boston Scott Memorial games, man. They what? Like crazy. Yeah, man. Running backs like that you look at and you're like, they're still in the league. Like how? And it's like, oh no, because that offensive line is making them look good. Excuse me, making them look good. I did not make a face. Anywho, but yeah, the running backs, man, they're replaceable, man. They're really replaceable, and a lot of these running backs are finding it hard. They can't really find a job, or they think they should be earned more money than what the market bears. Like Dalvin Cook, he's saying, "Oh, I want to win I want to go to a team where I can win a championship. Okay, well, yeah, there's plenty of teams that will want you, but how much money are you asking for? How much money is your agent asking for?
That's a funny statement too, because most championship-ready teams have guys that are getting paid a lot of money already, so they can't really afford to like fork over even more money, or they have upcoming contracts that's way more important to pay than a running back.
I just hearing these guys say, "Oh, I want to win a chip," but then going and like, "Oh, they're demanding this amount of money." Are you sure you really want to win a chip? Because logically speaking, no contender is gonna give you that amount of money. They don't have the flexibility in order to be able to give you that amount of money because they have to pay these other guys. Right? Because they have other great players. So, do you really want to win a chip, or are you just trying to get paid? That's just how I look at it.
I will say, the one team that's probably more in the wrong than right for not paying their running back is probably the Giants.
Yeah, I agree.
Because he was like the heart and soul of that offense for like majority of the season. He's been the number one offensive guy ever since Odell left. And they just was like, okay, we'll give you this amount. Take it or leave it.
$13 million.
Yeah, they probably are the one team they probably should have gave the money to.
I agree.
But like Austin Eckler, come on now.
Yeah, you're gonna have to take
Josh Jacobs. Really, this is your first year of really being like that for real.
Yeah, one great year, and then it's like, oh no, I need to get paid. Like, bro, no, you better take that 12 million, and get out of here. Because, what is he, like 26, 27? Your days are almost numbered, brother. I'm just saying.
And we're not saying that running backs are wrong for wanting to be paid, but you can't really go out on these public platforms and they're essentially like openly chastising every GM in the league that don't want to pay running backs. Like, that's you hustling backwards. You can't publicly shame a GM to paying you. That doesn't work.
Yeah, that doesn't work at all. The only way they can get these GMs to finally cough up some money is all the running backs go on strike. Do what the Writers Guild Association and the Screen Actors Screen Actors Association they doing. If you're not willing to do that, then you're screwed, pretty much. Like, oh, Derrick Henry, he's going to go on Twitter and say, oh, running backs are getting screwed after he got paid. Like, ain't nobody trying to hear your thoughts, bro. Ain't nobody trying to hear all that. Bro, you got paid. Like, what? How about you and Saquon? How about you sit out? Hold out. Sit out with Saquon. Go on strike. Then you'll make a point. But going on Twitter and saying, oh, running back position is getting screwed, ain't nobody trying to hear that. You got money, bro. You got money. You're set.
What you saying? It's like a billionaire complaining about the economy.
Facts, man. Come on now. Oh man, taxes. I'm getting taxed 10%, bitch. You're a billionaire. Get out of here with that. You need to get taxed 10%. Kidding me? With all the money, you getting all this money and stuff, man, you crazy. Yeah, running back position, it's like the power forward position in basketball. Like, it's damn near non-existent. Like, it's not needed as much anymore. People don't really value it as much anymore. So, I don't know how they have to do something in the CBA. They already made an agreement a few years ago, but they have to do something where they have to meet certain qualifications in order to get these incentives to boost their salary or something. There has to be something there.
They need something to where a running back contract only counts a certain percentage to the cap. They need to do something. Because teams would definitely pay these guys if only 50% of the contract counted towards the cap.
Or if the running back is getting paid, let's say a low amount, right? And they outperform and they get a percentage raise because they outperformed what they did the previous year. They got to do something because it's getting ridiculous.
Or if players drafted running backs for a second contract, They need something. If they can figure out how to negate some of that money from the cap space, then I don't think any team would have a problem paying a running back.
I think the worst thing for running backs is definitely the fact that the franchise tag exists. That's the worst thing. Like wide receivers, they can maneuver past it, but running backs are the biggest. Like they're definitely being held by that franchise tag, and they have to. I think the franchise tag is the number one reason why running backs are getting hold. Like if the franchise tag, let's say the league says, okay, you can only use franchise tag for these positions, but you can't use it on a running back. I think that would help somewhat. I don't think it would help, in the grand scheme of things, but I think that should happen where, okay, you can't use a franchise tag on a running back. I think they should start there because right now it's getting unfair. Like franchise tagging a running back when they only have so many years, like a short shelf life. That's not fair.
Yeah, I agree.
Get rid of the franchise tag for running backs. Either you re-sign them to an extension, or they just hit free agency, or you just trade them away. I think that's what should happen. The whole NFL system is flawed at the end of the day. So transitioning, I didn't put this in the itinerary, but Deandre Hopkins did sign with the Tennessee Titans, and I want to get our reaction.
Said he wants to win, by the way.
Yeah, that's a bunch of BS. So I gave my initial reaction.
I'm sorry to interrupt. They gave him like $14 million?
Something like that.
Okay.
But I gave my initial reaction, and I said that it didn't really move me that much. I was unimpressed. I wanted him to go to like a contender. I wanted him to go to a team with a really good QB. So I was disappointed in his decision. But I understand that you got to get as much bread as you can at the end of the day. You got to optimize as much as your talent as you can. And so I get the whole money angle from it, but I thought that he was trying to win. I thought, getting out of Arizona, he was trying to win, trying to compete for a Super Bowl. So going to Tennessee, I get Mike Vrabel. He was under that Texans staff, so he's familiar with Mike Vrabel and everything like that. But overall, Tennessee, that's where wide receivers go to die.
Yeah.
Unless you're drafted there, like
Andre
A.J.
Johnson,
Brown.
Randy Moss, Julio Jones.
You can keep going on and on. Robert Woods, yada, yada, yada. You go to Tennessee, your career is pretty much dead in the water. So he got his money, so it is what it is. I don't like it, but as long as he didn't go to, like, a team that I dislike, like the Cowboys, then I guess it's a good thing. So, but yeah, just elaborate more on it, like your reaction to him going to Tennessee.
Like I said, I don't think this moves the needle that much for the Titans, especially with their QB situation. Ryan Tannehill, he's been on the decline these past few years, so maybe. I doubt it. I don't really see how this situation is that much better than the Cardinals, honestly.
But Mike Vrabel, I will say he's a
better
solid
coach.
He's definitely a solid coach. I mean, look what he did they had Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill, and they went to the AFC Championship game. They beat Baltimore. They beat Tom Brady. They're in a game against Chiefs for a lot of the time. So for him, he's an excellent coach. I just think that the overall like roster construction of the team, I'm not really for. I just don't like it at all. I don't like the play style. It just seems very archaic. It seems old. They don't
real
seem
ground and pound football.
Yeah, it seems like they're not ahead of the times. So I don't know how I feel about him
uninspiring
going there.
passing game. Did they get rid of what's that? What's the offensive coordinator from?
I don't know, but whoever the offensive coordinator was, he was terrible, and I just don't.
Was it Todd Downing or something?
I don't know, but whoever it is, I'm just not somebody that really looking forward to watching Tennessee football, like Tennessee Titans football. It's one of those teams where they're well coached, but you're not gonna watch them. They're boring unless they're playing a really good team. So
they did get rid of their old one. They got Tim Kelly now.
Tim Kelly. Well, whoever the hell that is. Hopefully he's better. All right, so transitioning. So Neflix released, I don't know if you've seen it yet, but
No, I
quarterbacks.
haven't.
It's actually really good. It's basically like it's like sound bites of these three quarterbacks: Mahomes, Cousins, and Mariota. I don't know why they did Mariota. That was a terrible decision.
I think it's because they wanted to show
struggles of
each tier of QB. You know,
I get what you're saying. So I enjoy it because you get like a really like personal, and sort of up close sort of view of just what these quarterbacks have to go through, like Mahomes specifically. So like guys like Colin Cowherd, they like QBs that are robotic, no personality, put their head down, don't be barking don't be talking trash at all, right? And guess what Mahomes does? Guess what he does against the Raiders? Talking trash. He's barking at Max Monks. What's his name?
Max.
Max. Yeah.
Max Crosby.
I'm like, okay, so is Colin Cowherd? How does he feel about that? Because Mahomes, he was talking trash back to Max. Baker Mayfield did the exact same thing. He hated it. Cam Newton, he did the exact same thing. He hated it, but I haven't heard anything about Mahomes. He probably is like, oh, I like what Mahomes did. And see, that's the thing, the whole conversation about, quarterbacks should not have any emotion. They should not talk trash to their opponent. Like, shut up. You're not, like, have you played any sort of sports before? Like, come on now, bro. Like, these guys are human beings. It's competition at the end of the day. He was, man, the way Mahomes was talking to him, it was hilarious. Like, I was like,
did
wow.
they censor anything?
No.
Okay, good.
No, they didn't really censor anything. So, but yeah, you just get an up-close sort of view of their day-to-day lives, what they had to go through. Kirk Cousins sort of dealing with injuries. Mahomes dealing with injuries. How Mahomes is able to make those off-platform throws, like talking about how like his neck and whatever, like it gets very technical.
I gotta tap in.
It gets very technical how like he trains his neck and how flexible and mobile he is with the way that he like sort of trains his neck and his ability to throw the no-look passes, whatever, because he's able to like I guess move his neck in a way. And contort his body in a way where he's able to sort of make those unorthodox throws. So he actually trains to do that stuff. And his trainer said that his like just his ability, his mobility, like it's just next level. Like he's never seen another guy like that he's trained. And so it's just little nuggets like that where it's real dope. Like imagine if you were a high school quarterback. And you had dreams of going to NFL. Like, this would be an amazing series to watch if you're like a high school quarterback, if you're somebody that's training to go to the NFL. This is like the perfect series for somebody like you because they give you all of the stuff, all of just lessons that you can learn. And, man, it's great. If you're a sports fan, if you're a football fan, this is for you. Like it's really.
I gotta
great.
watch. I gotta tap in.
Yeah, it's really great, man. It's really. I'm on. I think either 2 or 3 right now. It's definitely great. But yeah, just wanted to talk about.
They dropped all 9 episodes at once, right?
Yeah, They did. I believe so. So it's on Netflix. You can watch all of them. I'm on like episode 3 right now. So yeah, it's really good. I enjoy it. But yeah. Thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below, hit the notification bell. Follow the socials as well. We post Instagram, we posting in Threads, we posting on Twitter and stuff like that. So make sure to check that out as well. And we'll see you guys on the next episode of the Courtside View Podcast. Thank you guys for watching and peace.
Look, cold world. still a cold world. And a couple y'all is cool, but we a little more thorough. Whole time, a little more girls. You know I spit that sick shit and it's still no cure. Hold up.